Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels, and this week we've been allowed out of the garden. We've come to the Ripon walled garden where I've come to look at a potted Christmas tree, and I'm also going to give you lots of tips how to keep your tree healthy over the festive period. I know we said we were going to look at Christmas decorations this week, but we're going to save that for next week because we've had the chance to get out of the garden and have a look at some Christmas trees. Well, at this time of the year you'll get Christmas trees all over the place, nurseries, garden centre, Christmas tree growers, but I like to get mine from here. This is Ripon Walled Garden and it supports adults and young people with learning disabilities, and it's a fantastic project, and throughout the year they grow a wide range of different plants in this wonderful old Victorian kitchen garden. There are two ways that you can buy a tree, and the traditional way is we would get a cut one, and there are lots of different varieties, and these are grown in a field situation as a crop, and then they're cut off and sent out at varying heights. And the one that we would always buy would be the Norway spruce, and that's the one that people have grown for years and years and years, but now we get the Nordman fir, the blue pines, spruces, all different types. The great advantage is lots of them retain their needles for longer, which is what we want in the house. But to help them retain their needles, we need to give them a little bit of TLC. And I always say to people, treat your Christmas tree like you would a bunch of flowers. So when you get it home, cut off the base of the trunk, just a couple of inches off the bottom, or if you're buying it from somewhere and they'll do it, that's even better. And then stand it in a bucket of water so it can soak in the water and charge itself up with loads and loads of water. Have a really good drink. Keep it cool and only bring it into the house when you really need it. So the shorter the time in the house, the longer the needles will stay green and fresh. Put it in a holder that retains moisture. And don't stand it anywhere too hot, next to a log burner or a radiator, because it's just going to dry out and wither, and they will still fall. If you keep it watered and cool, your tree will keep its needles all the time over Christmas. This is a lovely blue spruce here. You can see that it's got this glaucous blue needle there, quite spiky but a lovely colour. This is a Nordman fir. You can see they've got a dark green, quite a glossy leathery leaf, and these are the ones that really retain the needles well on the tree for a long period. And this one is the traditional Norway spruce, which is a lovely tree, lovely green foliage, quite spiky, but this is the one that if it does dry out a little bit too much, it does drop its needles. So you do need to keep it cool and moist at all times, and then it should be fine as long as it's a good, healthy, fresh tree. The other type that we can get, and they're getting more and more popular, are potted Christmas trees. And these are trees that are grown, and when they're small, they're lifted, put into a pot with compost. So they're living trees. And if you bring those into the house and keep them cool, keep them watered, you can then put them outside again in the new year, grow them on and keep them watered and fed through the summer. You can use that for years and years and years. And it's just great to see that tree grow a little bit each year.
If you get a potted one, is it going to get too big for the house though for the next year? How does it work with the growing?
If you buy one in a pot and it's say 3 feet tall and then you put it outside over the summer, it's probably only going to make another 6 or 8 inches that year. So it's going to take a long time before it gets too big from the house. But what you can do with them, if you've got a small one, is just trim the shoots back a little bit in the spring, and that helps it to bush out. So you can keep them for 5-10 years before they get too big for the house. So go out, have a look at them, pick a good healthy tree and enjoy it. Well, thanks for watching Pots and Trowels. Hope you enjoyed it and got a few tips on buying a Christmas tree there. If you like it, please share it with all your friends on Facebook and on YouTube. And join us again next week when we'll be back in the garden. See you then. Bye.